Hello and welcome to IGN Anime Club, episode 54. Yay, anime!
Yay, anime!
I'm your host, Miranda Sanchez, and joining me is Callie Plaguey. Hello. Megan Sullivan.
Hello.
And Mike Mamone.
Hey.
And we are IGN's anime show. We talk about anime. It's really great. We're so happy, and there's so much on our table today.
I'm glad to be back, yeah.
There's literally a lot on our table. If you're not watching the video, you can check us out on IGN.com, or even better, you can check us out on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can find us at youtube.com/anime club. It's a real good URL.
Real good URL get.
Oh, yeah.
It is a very
Thanks,
good
Mike.
URL get. We have so much cool stuff.
Yeah, and also you can check us out on IGN's many apps. We have an iOS app, Android, all the consoles, and Roku. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
All of them.
Check it out.
Assume if you're watching this, you're watching us on one of those awesome devices. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we have some cool stuff coming this week. We have this episode, and then we have something extra cool coming up too.
Yes.
That's right. Thanks to the power of positivity, WWE superstar and proprietor of gaming YouTube channel Up Up Down Down, Xavier Woods will be joining us this week to talk about all the animes. He's a huge anime fan. Really excited about that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
remember, eat your bootios, bring your positive attitude. It's going to be a great show. So happy about it. So excited.
Yeah, we're really excited, so look out for that
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up soon.
Yes, that's one. But we also have more, as you can see if you're watching. We actually have a giveaway for you this week.
Yes. If you haven't checked out the unboxing that we have on IGN already, we have 4 One Piece Marineford Edition box sets to give away to you guys,
It looks
Anime Club
impressive.
fans. Yeah.
It looks
And we also
enormous.
have a metal case, which is only exclusive to the site, Bandai Namco, and we'll give that away too. So if you want to win, or get a chance to win, your own Marineford Edition Burning Blood game, just share with us on our email.
Yeah. IGN_anime club at IGN.com.
Yep.
There you
Callie,
go.
on point.
There you go. Share your favorite One Piece match with us and why, and we'll pick our favorite, or
It might be random. We usually get a lot of entries, and usually we kind of just list off all the names.
That
and
too.
Then,
Yeah, we read them to make sure you didn't just like copy paste song lyrics
yeah.
or something. That's what I totally did that in my creative writing
And if
class.
it gets really close, like really tight, we're going to make you fight each other in real life.
there you go.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Yeah, so don't actually do that.
Or
But anyway,
maybe
yeah.
That's very exciting. So please write in for a chance to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have more details on that on our article for Anime Club's episode. So be sure to check that out on IGN.com. So if you want to know like about the dates and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so let's jump into the show. What are we watching this week, guys? What are you all up to?
Well, I've been watching Tanaka-kun as always.
Of course.
Yeah, just Miyano.
It's so pleasant.
It is.
I'm a little bit
I
behind.
look forward
It's
to
so
it
good.
every week. Like and it's on a Saturday too, which is perfect. And then Sakamoto on Friday, it's like, man, I'm all set for the weekend. But yeah, Tanaka-kun, I'm still enjoying it. Anyone has watched episode 2 yet?
No.
No.
Episode 2 of Tanaka-kun?
Because we'll talk
Yeah.
about it later, but
Oh, yeah.
waifu.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we'll talk about Miyano, more Miyano later. Do you like it so far?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cute. It's one of the ones I'm a little behind on.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed
That's
it. It's
chill,
very relaxing
Oh yeah. No.
and sweet.
Uh-huh.
Tackles a lot of high school issues.
Yeah, especially now. It's been so busy. Like I've been looking forward to like those episodes. Aside from that, I last time I was on, I said that I was going to start Eureka 7.
Aw.
Which it's really funny because the more Renton, the protagonist, he reminds me so much of. I'm forgetting his name. Protagonist for Fullmetal Alchemist.
Edward.
Oh, I was gonna say Alfonso, but that's his brother. But yeah,
Close enough.
he reminds like the way he freaks out is so similar to Edward. I'm like Bones, of course. But have you guys watched Eureka 7 before?
I saw a little bit a long time ago, and I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So it's in a world where surfboard mechas are a thing.
Yeah.
And people like to just like surf in the air for fun, and then there's like there's like weird military and like it's I'm still trying to figure out what's going on, but they did mention Eureka and they did mention 7, so I'm like, okay,
They're on track.
They're on track.
It's not a misnomer.
Yeah.
I love it when they say the title of the show. In the show.
Yeah, sometimes like, I
hey.
see you.
It's like, oh, that's why. But
Like when they say the title of the movie in a movie, and you're like, aha, Ocean's 11. I don't know. I don't know if they say Ocean's 11 in Ocean's 11.
There are 11 oceans.
This was the first movie I thought of. Anyway.
yeah. So, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's definitely a slow burn. It's not very shonen. It's more so, it focuses a lot on the relationships and the group that Renton's with. But aside from that, yeah, I'm gonna keep up with it. I think I'm halfway through season 1, so
Cool.
we'll get there.
And you're also watching One Piece.
Oh,
Speaking of,
also.
Of course.
Yes, always once. I decided to bring it up today because they are finally making the transition to the next arc. And what's important about that is that a new character has been revealed that people have been waiting for a long time, manga readers. I don't read the manga, but there's these the Yonko, or the emperors, the 4 emperors, and pretty much this will be the 3rd that they'll show. So I might talk about it more in like a one-off video for Anime Club, but aside from that, I just wanted to be like, hey, it's happening, guys! Finally, One Piece fans.
Yay!
So yeah, but yeah, that's it. That's it for this
Cool.
2 weeks.
Callie, what are you watching?
So totally independently of each other, Miranda and I both watched Death Note this week.
I thought you guys were playing that out.
Nope.
Yeah, it was a total accident. So I had a friend over to my apartment who doesn't watch anime, and I made her watch Madoka. This is the friend
Cassidy?
who I made. Yeah, Cassidy. So, hey Cassidy, what's up? So I thought maybe that was kind of throwing her into the deep end a little bit. So I was like, okay, let's take it back. What's an anime that I was one of my first? Okay, Death Note. Well, I read the manga. So this was my first time watching the anime as well. And I watched the first episode and I was like, okay.
It's like, oh.
If you haven't read the manga, Light isn't a total psycho right away. Like he's really disturbed by the power of the Death Note. And then I watched the anime and I'm like, whoa, guys.
This Light has no time for that.
He has no time for that. Like, he's like, Ryuk, I've been expecting you. And I'm like, no, you weren't. You weren't expecting anything. You were just going to take your cram school or whatever. I was so upset that I went into my room and I brought out I have the black edition with like the black edges.
Yeah.
And I brought it out and I was like, this is what actually happens. And my friends were like, okay, did you just pull a book is better on us? And I was like, I totally did. Not to discredit the show. I want to finish it because I'm interested to compare the differences. But I really like Death Note a lot. So
What were you watching it on? On Netflix?
On Netflix.
Or? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
so we were watching Netflix until I reminded my boyfriend that we have the Blu-ray, and it looks so much better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it looks very dated. Like I forgot what that kind of time period looked
looks
like for
so
anime. It's so bad.
And the intro. The intro starts and I'm like, I turn to Cassidy and I'm like, this looks like capital A anime, but I swear they're not going to be like fighting like this the whole time. I can't.
It's weird, yeah. Yeah, I just want to point that out. That looks so much better on the Blu-ray. Everything just looks so much cleaner and
Nice.
it's nice. Yeah, so I jumped in like the middle of Death Note because my boyfriend's just been watching anime nonstop and I'm really proud of him. And he made his
Hey.
first ship.
First ship?
He made his first ship ever. Ooh, baby's first ship. Light and L.
Oh, wait, that's really good.
I was just like, oh my gosh.
I'm so proud of him.
There's one scene. Okay, so, Death Note spoilers for like a minute. There's a scene before Elle dies when they have like a romantic moment in the rain, and then they're like drying each other off. And then my boyfriend leaned over to me. He's like, "Boyfriends." And I was just like, ah,
Wait,
"You're the best."
Boyfriends.
I have never been prouder of him
I know.
than I am in this
I
moment.
was so happy. It was
Nice.
a great moment for a relationship.
I
We
think
grew as a couple.
he's a keeper.
Yeah. So, and Death Note spoilers, but it was good.
Other than that, I also watched Sakamoto. I watched
Hey.
more Sakamoto. It was really interesting because I was playing a lot of Doom this weekend, and then I just totally switched gears and watched Sakamoto,
Nice.
which was a weird whiplash of things. I love Delinquent Senpai so much. He has nice abs, and that scene in the rain is very important to me. And
Rain scenes are good this week.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying that show. And then other than that, more Space Patrol Luluco, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just like eating up the Trigger references.
Yeah, like if you like anything from Trigger, you have to watch Space Patrol Luluco. Like if you loved Kill Kill or Little Witch Academia, it's
beautiful. The references are like I was watching it at my desk and I'm like laughing out loud because I'm like, the witches, oh my gosh. And like I'm just so delighted. It's so good.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if anyone's watching it and hasn't seen a lot of the Trigger stuff before, if they're enjoying it the same way. Because I know a lot of it's like, hey, this is very servicey to us because we've seen these shows, we love Trigger, we love their style, and we get where these people are coming from. But if you don't have background from Little Witch Academia or anything, like, would you enjoy it the same way we do?
Yeah, I'm actually curious to find out if anybody who hasn't watched a lot of Trigger is watching Space Patrol Luluco. Let us know if you're enjoying it the same way that, like, I wonder if it holds up if you don't get all those references.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just the few episodes I watched, I mean, I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Probably don't get the references, but...
Have you watched, like, the most recent two?
No.
Because those are the ones where it starts to really kick into, like, hey, Trigger shows.
Yeah, hey,
Got it.
So we heard you like Trigger.
Yeah, I still think that there's enough between Luluco and Omega-kun for them to carry it on. It's fine.
I love anime. Okay. It's pretty great. Anyway.
Speaking of Trigger, I've caught up in Kiznaiver a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
And it's a weird show because I know a lot of people are like, we still have that so what thing to it. It's like, okay, cool, you guys are connected by your pain. Okay. And it's kind of like what I still get that feeling of by episode 7. But I'm enjoying it a lot more because it is really like a big character study and like how people can relate to each other when they have nothing in common. And how they can learn from each other through their pain and like reach a different level of understanding between each character. And there's some really tragic and sweet plots that go on between each character, and I really like it. So I'm enjoying it a lot.
That's so good to hear. It's one of those shows where I know I want to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that gives me more reason to continue.
Yeah, I watched like 4 episodes last night.
Nice.
Good time.
Yeah, out of a lot of the spring stuff that we've watched for the future, like that and then like a couple of others I'm only keeping up with.
Yeah.
Sort of.
There's the only one that I keep up week to week, like I'm on top of it, is ReZero, because it is my favorite. I think besides Kabaneri is like my favorite thing this season.
So I finally watched the first episode.
Yes, finally somebody else.
Yeah, I know, because everyone's talking about it, and I'm like,
I hear it's great.
why haven't I tried this yet?
It's
and then
gonna
I
be
did.
24 episodes, so you guys should just start now.
Yeah.
Don't get behind.
Oh gosh.
It's really good. Like, and they use so much. They use every little bit of screen time they can too. So like, there's a lot. Like even the credits, they don't jump into the songs all the time. Like they'll just have the credits overlay with scenes because they have so much to put in each episode. But yeah, what did you think?
I liked it. It was funny because I finished the first part of the first episode. I'm like, oh, there's a second part. I'm gonna watch Tanaka-kun. So then that's the only part I saw. But it's really interesting, and I mean, like, because like Cerberus and all those other ones that were kind of similar. Like I didn't like grab onto those, and this one's like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like I can dig this.
It's, of course, if you haven't seen anything from it, it is another one of those otaku gets into a Fantasyland kind of thing. And it's been done time and time again, and it's kind of getting very tiring. Yeah. Its gimmick is that the protagonist, when he dies, he revives and gets to try again. So that's fun. But the cool thing about the show is that it deals with those implications of what happens to him, like mentally and with his relationships and how he perceives the world and stuff. So it's very sweet, and I actually like the protagonist a lot. And I recommend it. So.
For sure.
Down.
Sweet. I'll try to catch up.
Yeah. So Megan, what are you up to?
So I watched anime and chilled. I'm having some personal drama going on in my life, so I needed something to sort of keep me happy and relaxed. And so I watched another episode of Flying Witch, which is all about a cute little witch who lives in the countryside and helps people on a day-to-day basis with cute, harmless white magic. It's really adorable. I love it. It's gorgeously animated. They had a Cherry Blossom Festival episode, and I loved it. It made me so happy. I was like, this is exactly what I need right now. And then I tried Tanaka-kun, but pass. It's too long for what it is. It needs to be like 7 minutes long each.
Did you just watch the first episode?
I watched the first episode, and I have no plans right now to watch the second episode. I'm like, I just feel like it needs to be. I know, but it's past.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt actually about Flying Witch. I got really bored with it But except for the Mandrake scene in the first episode, that was A+.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll watch it later, but
Cool.
it's
At least for
fine.
Miyano.
Yeah, she's not my waifu.
Okay. So.
Although Megway, hey. Miranda, that was your cue.
Hey,
Oh.
no, that's you. You're on that.
What's the topic?
You gotta carry it through.
All right. Well, all right. So I'm in charge now. I'm the captain. Look at me. I'm the captain. All right. Our topic for this week is waifus and husbandos, best girls, etc., etc. XOXO.
That's what I wrote.
That's on our notes. If you aren't watching the video,
That's
you
the
really
headline.
should be, because I brought all my links.
Oh my god, this
I
makes me
wonder
so
why.
If you
happy.
didn't watch last week's episode, you'll understand if you go check that out. But I brought him, and he's falling. No.
He's falling for
There he goes.
you.
You have your husbando.
Oh, really
was
quick
good.
shout out to Frank Acevedo, who made really cute
Yes.
fan art of me with Blink.
And kids.
I didn't realize it was me at first. So at first I was like, this is so cute, look at all these links. And I just thought it was like Malin or somebody, because I was talking to somebody and I didn't read the full text. I looked at the art and I was like, this is so cute. Look at this art that somebody made for me. And then I read it again. I was like, oh my God, that's me. And I started crying.
It's your wedding picture.
I know.
It's you and
So
your babies.
that's a good
No.
way to get into the husbandos and waifus discussion.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so I like to say it's not weird to have a husbando or a
No.
waifu.
No.
So, I mean, I think on the outside, it's very easy for people to say, well, you're calling this person your wife. You're weird. And I get that. But this is, such a fun, subculture thingy that I love so much. And at first, I was just like, maybe I'm not cool enough to have a waifu. And I was like, nah, I do. So I want to go around and ask you guys about your husbandos and waifus. I think we know Callie's husbando. But who's your waifu?
I'm indecisive, so I have lots.
Oh.
I mean, we all know about Kamina. We've established Kamina. My OG husbando was Kyo from Fruits Basket. I have him right there. Obviously the human form, not the cat form. My waifus, I would say Yoko Littner. It's top tier waifu for me. I love her. I love her, the leather jacket with the space bike thing. Yeah. I love her. And I don't know much about Fate, but every Saber figurine that exists in this world is perfect. So I kind of want to watch it just so I can call her my waifu, so I can buy It's very weird. I think all her figures are flawless. There's a figure that Miranda found of her eating a burger, and I want it.
It's so good.
Oh, I
It's so
saw that.
good.
Yeah.
So I have. It's very confusing. One of the things that I have trouble doing is I don't know if she's my waifu or if I just want to be her. It's like life goals or wife goals, you know?
Yeah.
So I say that. Stop. So telling myself to stop. So but Yoko's the best. What?
I love that waifu. Wait, what was it?
Wife goals or life goals?
Life goals or life goals? That makes me so happy.
Anyway, Miranda.
So I commit to one at a time.
Oh wow.
At a time.
That's how
How
I
many
play my games.
times?
Ouch.
So,
Oh my god.
Hey, you'd be fine if you were in Utah.
Anyway, no, I think I don't know if a lot of people have multiple husbandos, waifus. I think some people usually just commit to one. I don't know. I mean, that's fine if you,
You
don't.
speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
I mean, okay, if I'm gonna pick one, it's gonna be Kamina and Yoko. Toon Link is
Aw.
special and
That's
different.
kind of it's like a weird threesome. Just saying.
What is this episode?
Best episode.
Anyway, you're monogamous and virtuous, Miranda. What is your pick?
So for my waifu, has to be Hajime Ichinose from Gatchaman Crowds.
Oh, I know that.
Ooh.
She's adorable. And also, waifu or laifu, it's weird because she's so cute. Why can't I be cute like her? Her style
up.
is so good. No, you should just, if you watch Inside,
You're so
holy
cute.
crap. Her hairstyles are so good. And, the design on her character is just amazing. And she's, really airheaded, but also really smart. It's almost like an act, but that's just her personality, that she's just really cutesy and weird. But is very smart
Wife goals,
and
life goals.
philosophical. I'm just like, man! She's so good.
All right.
And yeah, so she's my favorite lady.
And who's your
Anime
husband?
lady. Genos, obviously, from One Punch Man, because I'm super into cyborgs. So
That's a good pick. Man, I am so not monogamous with my wife who's a husband.
There's no judgment
that's fine.
here.
That's fine. I mean, like, you know, like levels. There's like ranking someone you
Anyway,
see on the
Megan.
weekends.
So my OG husbando has always been Akahoshi Reizo-sama from Slayers. I was obsessed because I'm obsessed with Takehito Koyasu, the voice actor, who you know from a bunch of different stuff. He was in Utena as the redheaded guy. He was in he was Hotohori in Fushigi Yui, yada yada. He has a sexy voice, and he makes Reizo work. So he is my husbando. I can't decide with my waifu. There's one I'm thinking of, but I'm blanking on who it is. It's that horrible. You're gonna say one name, and then 10 minutes later, you're like, "Oh my god, I forgot the most important one."
That's where I am right now. I'm like, I'm sure I forgot.
Because I bury it super
It's
deep
so
inside.
far in your heart that you can't even
I
recall.
forgot Roronorzoro. No.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I need to come back on.
This is why you have one. So you remember. Then again, for games though, it's different.
Diva.
Oh, yeah.
Diva.
Yeah, from
Yeah, so
Overwatch.
all my spirit animals are not my waifus. Like Umaru is my spirit animal, but she's not my
Yeah,
waifu.
she's not your wife. She's
not
your
my
life
waifu.
goal, not
She's
your
like-
wife goal.
she's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. She's life goal, but not wife goal. So I'm gonna. Have
I
to come
wouldn't
back
want
on
to
that
be
one.
attached to Maru in any sort of way.
Yeah.
She's not someone I want to know in
No.
real life.
It's just who I am, and I accept that. I love me for me. I am a trash monster. We had pictures of it. I am queen of the trash heap in that one IGN Fierce Friday picture.
Oh, that's a good picture.
I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah.
So while you try to remember,
Yes.
Mike.
This is funny because I didn't think about this too much, and I didn't really think about it before too often either.
Now we're making me think.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I have more husbandos than I do waifus,
Whoa.
That's
which is really
okay.
interesting. I mean, for my waifu, and this is most recent just because there's so many and I can't pick. But I've decided that Koala from One Piece is my waifu.
Okay.
She is
Koala?
yeah, Koala-san.
That's cute.
Yeah, she's super cool. She's part of the Revolutionary Army in One Piece, and I'm just like, man. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop.
I'm surprised you didn't say the girl from Tanaka-kun though, because you've been so.
Okay, well,
you want us all to
she's my
watch episode 2
she's my
so bad.
best girl.
Which we'll get to.
We'll
Which we'll get to.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But my husbando.
I think that's the trap I'm running into. Is
Exactly.
Best girl.
Yeah. See,
I have a lot of
I don't
best
know.
girls, but
We'll talk about that more. But husbando though, Sanji from One Piece.
I'm
He
totally down
can
with that.
cook.
he can cook. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His legs burst into flames when he's fighting people.
He got them legs.
Yeah, he got that curly.
knows how to
He has
use
that curly eyebrow, and he's just the epitome of cool. Maybe even cooler than Sakamoto.
Cool.
Cool, him, yeah. And then, oh man, I had another one in my head, and then I forgot.
Because you said you had a couple.
I did.
Yeah, you had so many.
Oh no.
I think it's harder to find husbandos.
Oh,
At least for
Ota.
me.
It's so much harder to find husbandos.
Ota from Tanaka-kun.
Oh, yeah.
Tanaka's friend.
Yeah, he'd be a good one.
Yeah, they're like
Take care
married.
of you.
Yeah, I know.
I had that
I'd
thought.
be
I was
like,
like, they need to be shipped.
yeah.
Wait, I know.
They like ship themselves on the show.
Yeah.
My
It's really good.
ultimate husbando is God, I forgot his name.
Right? It's really
Bruce Campbell.
the Bruce Campbell.
The Groovy Bruce. He's my husbando.
That's
But why?
wonderful.
He has a catchphrase. He's very anime.
Oh,
He's
okay.
very anime.
He's very anime. This is really. I think this brings us to our next topic is like best girls versus waifus, because I think that's the trap I'm running into.
Mm-hmm.
I brainstormed too hard for this. I thought about everybody I loved, and then I was like, wait, that's not how that works.
Yeah, so before we move on, be sure to let us know who are your husbandos and waifus.
Yes.
And, it's just kind of nice to have them, because then you get to buy all their figures and stuff and support them in every way possible because you love them so much.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
just want them to you just want them to succeed.
Yeah.
You just
Oh,
want
yeah.
to see them go far in life. Anyway. Moving on. So perfect. Yes. So yes, we were kind of touching on how waifus and best girl are not the same thing. It's very important.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because many people have different best girls. Like each show can have its own best girl. And I think that's like a really good test of like knowing how Mimi and an anime fan is. It's like, hey, do you know what best girl? It's like, who's best girl?
Yeah, who's best girl is like the big question that you ask anybody. Is like, I like anime. I'm like, okay. Who's best girl?
I feel bad that I haven't even asked my twin sister who's best girl. Like, I feel like I've messed up, even though I know she gives me the Onodera as best girl. Callie.
That is false. Chitoge is best girl. So let's just not even go there right now.
Anyway,
We'll have an in-depth discussion about that.
look for
later.
that too on our YouTube channel.
YouTube channel. We'll just
Sometime
it'll
soon.
just be 10 minutes of us fighting.
Yeah, I'm really.
I'm so ready.
But yeah, like really though, like your waifu is, I guess, what we kind of determined is someone you're really a fan of, like, as the character at the core, is just like someone you relate to, or even like just think it just really connects with you in a weird way, and you support them in a separate way from any other character. So like people will probably ask me like, why is Satsuki not your best girl? And, like, or your waifu, because like she's a goddess. She is above me and everybody else in this world. So
yeah,
that's
it's like
position.
Disrespectful to call her your wife.
Yeah,
like
like she's above that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a very silly episode, by the way. Surprise. But yeah, so I think there's like a special position for waifus, whereas when you get to best girl, I think it varies from every show. Like you can have a best girl every show, and then also like just best girl in general. Like
So
best
it's like
girl.
it's a rectangles and squares situation where your waifu might be one of your best girls, but not all your best girls are your waifus.
I'm glad we're having this conversation because I have no idea.
Yeah, I think that's the trap I run into. I have a lot of best girls. If you saw, we had the wave of 3x3s on the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club, the official group.
Yeah.
And I did all my best girls, and I don't know. I have a hard time picking, like, if there were one that I was going to be like, yes, the one. It's really hard.
That's
it's hard
really
to
hard.
settle down and pick a waifu out of all the best girls in the world. A harem of best girls. All of them. I have my Officer Jenny. And man, I would buy, if there were like a Officer Jenny figurines, I'd buy them. Maybe she's my waifu.
There you
I'm
go.
surprised they don't.
Right?
They don't
Yeah,
have any?
I would buy. They have a cool Misty figurine that's like based off of her sprite in the.
Oh, yeah.
I want that. I love Misty. That's where I got my IGN username. My IGN username is Kasumi, which is Misty's Japanese name. And I love. Oh God, this is hard.
Yeah. So I just want to ask you guys, who do you think is this season's best girl? Like, there's a lot of really cool
Oh, you already know my answer.
characters. All right, Mike, go ahead.
Miyano from Tanaka-kun is always listless. And
tell us a little bit about her.
Okay.
Yeah.
She
why does she
is the
qualify?
epitome of cuteness. Okay. She has so much energy. Literally, what? Okay.
You just can't. You're just
We're so
stupefied.
flustered.
Yeah.
Stupefied by her cuteness.
Speechless.
Okay. Well, in the anime, she wants to. She idolizes Tanaka-kun, so she tries to be like him, and just her. It's because they're so opposite, right? You got energy, and then you got sleepy dude, and then seeing her trying to idolizing him, and then being so enthusiastic, like, oh, I gotta copy them or whatever. It's I haven't felt like this way about a girl in anime.
Telling
Maybe
your girlfriend.
ever or in a long time. Yeah. Well, she knows.
makes your heart
She
skip a
knows.
beat.
Maybe even a waifu contender here.
But yeah, I haven't. Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, I can't think of anyone else that I've ever felt like this about a girl in anime. But anyway,
Okay.
but yeah,
I know my answer.
okay.
Knife Shoes girl from Kabaneri.
Her name is Mumen. I agree. I
Oh.
think she could take her down easily.
Mume- Mume would slay.
Wait a minute.
She would actually slay her.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
well.
like
So-
literally with her knife shoes.
She's 12.
She has knife shoes.
true.
Oh.
And no, yeah,
I didn't
she
know
is,
that.
She is a child.
No. Never mind.
I think she can still be best girl. She's kick ass.
I mean,
Yeah, but-
okay, this brings us back to the difference between waifus and best girls, which is what we are discussing currently. Is best girl isn't necessarily like, oh, I have a crush on her. It could be just life goals versus wife goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like
So,
just a
she's
character
12.
who's freaking awesome.
I just wish I kind of want to grow up to be her, even though she's, you know what I mean?
So what I like about Mume is, like, if you haven't been watching Kabaneri, she's very powerful. She's super strong. She can slay Kabaneri to like these weird zombie things that are really cool and scary.
She has knife shoes.
She had knife shoes for a little bit there.
A little bit. I want knife shoes.
Yeah. And
They're called stilettos, and they're amazing.
Oh yeah.
these are actually blades, though. It's like
She's like, it's like ice skates,
Like
but
ice
not
skates,
for
yeah.
ice.
Yeah, and they also have like little bells on them.
They have little bells. It's
She
She
styles
ices
amazing.
people, but she doesn't ice skate with them.
Yeah, so she's amazing at fighting. She seems kind of flawless, but as you get into the show, you find out that she has like these really weird problems with her brother and like these family issues, and
Baby,
it's really great.
it's
So, like,
gonna be okay.
yeah, that's kind of like why I would offer up as best girl, because she has very good potential to be someone who's very complex, and it seems that way. And I like the way they're handling her character, and she's not just this amazing fighter that, you know, is perfect. She's very flawed, and she's learning to overcome those with her friends. So I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miana all the way.
You know, can
Meme.
Yeah.
get slayed.
Oh,
Sorry.
no. She's gonna, like...
She Meme would wreck her, and you know it.
They'll be friends, and then she'll backstab her.
Well, I don't.
Somehow. I don't know. She'll have Otakun carry her around.
Megan, who you throw in the ring?
Nobody. There's no one. There's no one from
No
this
one?
season that is doing it for me. But I haven't seen all the shows yet. But there's nobody that sticks out. Had you asked me any other season, I'd probably think of somebody. But the closest I can think of is the sister on Flying Witch, who's a super capable witch, and she's always out for a good time and just has a lot of charisma and energy. But honestly, I can't think of a single person from the season that's like, yes, that is best girl.
No one's best girl for you.
Nope.
Gotcha.
None of them are good enough for me.
Ooh.
I have high standards.
Do it.
High standards.
I would like to reiterate that Kamina is my official husbando. I just because you talking about what's her face?
Miana?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
not
whoa.
Mume.
Whoa. Excuse me.
Whatever her name is, she's not Mume, so whatever.
Move over, Bruce Campbell. It's all Kamina.
Oh yeah. Well, Bruce, like you could have a husbando. He's my non-anime
He's your 3D.
husbando.
He's your 3D husbando.
Yeah, I mean, my 2D husbando is definitely Kamina, because when you're talking about how she makes you feel like no other anime girl has ever made you feel, I realized that
It's
that's
the truth.
exactly when I first saw Kamina. I was like, oh my god, I've been saved.
Anyway, let us know who you guys think is best girl this season. We're interested. Like, we're mostly getting close to the end of some of these series. So
There's
it's
no
really
best
cool.
boy. Best boy doesn't exist.
So let's talk about that.
Ouch.
Why is best
Just
boy
kidding.
not a thing? Like, Husbandos even then is like a very... It's a thing, but it's not nearly as big as Waifus, of course.
I've had like a sort of a hypothesis about this. It kind of goes with my harem hypothesis, where the reason I like Nisekoi is because I think Raku is an actual, like, he's actually likable as a harem protagonist. I think the trap that sometimes anime falls into is creating a male protagonist that you can see yourself in if you're targeting towards men. And then the female cast is often like super colorful and very varied, and you get a lot of different options. Like in Nisekoi, you have Onodera or you have Chitoge, and they're two very different people, and you have those options. And versus a lot of anime will have like the one dude, and you're like, oh, I either like him or I don't like him, and then I've run out of options.
Right. And I think we see this same character copy and pasted everywhere, especially, of course, with harems, but you see it a lot in those finishy, like, otaku genre thing, where the guy just gets plopped in, and it feels like the same guy every time, and it's
does.
really hard to like that guy, and that makes, I think, that whole
exactly
like hard to like as well.
Yeah, because I think you fall into that archetype of, you know, this is the kind of character that our audience can relate to, and then they all start to seem very samey after a while. At least that's how I feel. I mean, like, I feel the same way about like female protagonists in like young adult fiction in the West.
Yeah.
They're all kind of like the Oatmeal, the comic artist The Oatmeal put it really well, that they are a pair of pants you can put on. They're not really a full character, they're a pair of pants. And that's very useful, I think. Sometimes it's nice to be able to experience a story through someone like Bella Swan's clumsy, vaguely pale, and has reddish, blondish, brownish hair. Sounds like me. And then you can experience that story through her, and that's enjoyable. And so I think that in anime that happens with male protagonists as opposed to female protagonists.
Yeah, and I think we especially see that a lot with moe anime, is where you get the very bland boys. Like, it's like, well, can just skip over all you guys because you don't matter. Because I think, of course, like the selling point of moe is the girls. And that kind of also brings us to actual selling points is the girls, because you can sell their figures. And I think overall, I wonder what sales look like between like male figures and female figures.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, there's a
pretty
lot
sure
more
there's a
female figures, I'm sure.
yes.
Yeah.
But I do want all the Osomatsu ones.
The Nendoroid's cute.
Yeah, the Osomatsu Nendoroids are really good. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I just see a lot more female figures. I think the female character design, like you can have alternate costumes, or like I said earlier with the Saber figurines, you have like Saber Bride or Saber Altar or Saber eating a burger or Saber by the beach, and it's like, well, I don't have Beach Saber yet. Yeah, I have Bride Saber, but not this Bride Saber. And with male protagonists, it's like suit that's black or suit that's blue. Which I don't think is always true. Like, then you have Kamino with his nice look.
No, I don't have any. I have Husbandos, but it's hard to, like, I never was able to find a Rezo figure that I was happy with because they didn't make it. I can find all sorts of Lena Inverse ones and Naga ones for Slayers, but usually the demographic is assumed to be male, unless it's specifically shoujo. Then they have a lot of female characters, often in salacious. Here's your bikini outfit, and here's this outfit, and whatnot. Not always, but there's a market.
Bunny Yoko.
There's a Bunny Yoko. So, I mean, there's a market for that, and I think it's a harder merchandise sell.
Oh, yeah.
For males.
There's probably more Evil Dead Bruce Campbell figures than there are Kamino figures. All right. Like, honestly, there's somebody has a desk full of them outside.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that in Western culture, like, you go around IGN coworkers' desks, and it's full of action figures.
Like
really
Solid Snake, or Max Scoville has, like, all of the Boba Fett's in existence.
Yeah, literally every single one, but I don't see a lot of that in anime.
That's sort of what I was getting to with the anime kind of switches that, and it's like, well, we're marketing to boys, so here's all the girls. Whereas I think you think about Western culture, the shows that are marketed to young boys are often male-dominated, like Justice League or something like that, where there's like a cast of men to look up to. And I think there's merits to both. I don't think one is better than the other. I just think maybe that's the key difference there.
Yeah. And I think one of the exceptions to like what we're talking about too is the very big shonen. Like Shonen Jump, especially though.
Exemption, yeah.
Yeah, because like you'll see a bunch of like Bleach figures, and of course One Piece, like we have here.
Yeah. Like the Roronoa figure that I want to steal.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Like I just wish we'd see more of those like excellent male characters. Like we're getting them; they happen. Oh yeah. It's just I feel like they're a lot more rare once you step out of like the big, like I mean, like really big shonen shows. Like
the big three, you know.
Yeah.
Naruto, One Piece,
and Dragon Ball.
Yep.
And then I mean, like,
wrong with that.
are there like Fairy Tail and Hunter x Hunter figures?
There's
not too many Hunter x Hunter figures actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I think there is some Fairy Tail, but I don't see it as much as One Piece and Naruto. And
Definitely.
Bleach.
There's Saitama Nendoroid. That's all I know.
Yes,
I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah.
Oh, you too? Anyway.
I think we're all going to get a Nendoroid.
Very cool.
Well, that concludes our topic this week, and thank you guys for listening to us banter about our love life with anime and threesomes and whatnot.
There'll be more. We'll have more conversations.
Yeah.
This is not over.
Oh, this is definitely not over. This never is over.
This is just the 101. We'll get into the nitty gritty later.
Yeah, a lot of people asked us about like who our waifus and husbandos are, so I figured it was about time.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys know.
One day I'll settle down with a nice waifu one day.
I didn't think about this more too.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump into our watch party, which if you don't know what that is, every week we talk about 2 episodes from a show you guys chose. Right now we are watching Shirobako episodes 13 and 14. And we just jumped into a new show within Shirobako.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows within shows. So
Third Aerial Girls Squad.
Yes, we wrapped up Exodus, and now we're into Third Aerial Girls Squad. So Diesel-san.
Diesel-san! She's so cute!
Diesel-san!
Boys Night?
Boys Night? We'll talk about that later. We'll explain later. Something I really liked from these episodes was the what is your favorite kind of cloud question? Because first of all, everybody knows a lot about clouds. I don't know how they all like
Nimbus.
I'm like Nimbus.
I'm like, okay,
2000.
there's fluffy clouds, and then there's the ones that sort of look like they trailed off of a jet plane, and then there's like scary clouds.
And there's like the really high ones.
And then the high up clouds. That's all I know. So I was struck by how much Miyamori knows about clouds. But also I like the seeing the nuance of the animator saying like I like clouds because I can never get them right. And I'm challenging myself to one day be satisfied with a cloud that I make. And that's one of the things that keeps me going with work is if I'm never 100% satisfied, I'll always want to try to be better.
Yeah.
So I really liked that. I liked that it was such a relatable conversation with such a weird prompt. Like, oh, what's your favorite kind of club? So I liked that scene a lot. I think that was my favorite scene of these 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like Miyamori is now a production desk.
Yeah.
by the way.
She's
Yeah.
production
She
desk.
has so much on her.
Weird. It's a weird title.
I'd be
Yeah, right.
really mad if they didn't give me a raise because yikes.
Yeah, did she not get one?
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sure she
she's
did.
talking to her sister and she's like, oh, I don't know.
She gets compensated.
Yeah, she's
for
like, I think there's a
something behind
desk compensation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think anybody talked to her about that, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now she's thinking about the whole season at once and all that, rather than episode by episode. And then now Tataru's production assistant lead or something like that. I was like, oh no.
He should be fired.
Well, then they won't have anybody.
Yeah, and whenever they first opened that scene with the meeting and there's like 4 people there, it's just like, oh, Usani's getting a little thin. It's a scary place to be.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah. But she's doing a good job. I mean, she took all that work. Like, she's handling it. That's for sure.
So let's move off the Musani crew. I'm going to get a comment from Giselle De Silva. When Zuka-chan tries to be cheerful in front of her friends, you can hear her holding back her tears, which just made me choke up on my own tears. As a recent graduate, I can relate to the frustration of not getting a job because of not having enough experience. How are you supposed to get experience if you never have a chance? It feels like a vicious cycle. And now her friends are all working on the same project, but we see her growing and not allowing herself to get down in the dumps. Like Zuka-chan, you can learn something from every experience.
Oh, that scene hurt so bad.
I was really hoping
Especially-
she would get it too.
Especially seeing that she came really close.
Yeah.
And that's hard when you don't quite get something. And all your friends, like, because their goal was to make an anime together, right? And now 4 of them are working together, and she's left out, and that's hard when all your friends are more successful than, or more objectively successful than
Oh,
you.
yeah.
I would
Right.
argue that, success isn't super measurable, but.
And then also that they're all working together except for her. Like, she's like, oh, I almost got it, but I'm not really there with you guys, so...
Yeah, that process when they're picking the voice actors is so like...
I, like, hated that scene.
yeah.
I actually really like that.
Like that one guy was
Like, it's
objectifying.
so tiring,
Yeah.
but I think it's so fun. Because, okay, so if you look at this,
But
the past like, arc we had, and we look at this arc, the last one was a lot more about the production, about how it happens and comes together. And this one seems like it's going to be more about the
business.
politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what happens, because now they're working with a manga artist, like they have to work with this guy to
Yeah.
make sure that everything is approved, and like
Right.
Yeah.
it's a different thing entirely.
Yeah.
But honestly, I couldn't wait for that scene to be over. I hated it so much.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty gross guys. So.
Yeah.
She's
That's
the
just
one with
making me-
boobs, and I'm like,
Yeah.
That
okay.
was...
But she can cosplay, and she has boobs. And it's like, oh, and everyone was
Like,
just like,
alright.
please stop.
That's,
I know, right?
You know, there's the whole internet. There is a whole internet where you can see whatever you want. So calm down.
By the way, what do you think about Rinko stepping down? Like, that was... Everything's just falling apart. Because now they... Oh, well, actually, no. They did get the guy to do the supervisor, right? Animation supervisor? The one that for the Clouds guy? Was he the one that
Yeah.
was supposed to replace
Yeah.
Rinko?
Yes.
Okay. So it did work out. But when she decided to step down, I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a new show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like all the cloud stuff. It's weird because you're like, well, why do they care so much about the clouds? It's like, guys, the show's in the sky. Don't forget.
I know.
Because at first when I watched this, I was just like, oh yeah,
Wait,
clouds.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I liked that scene so much, and I didn't think about how it was an aerial girl squad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to bed.
That's
I'll
what.
see you guys later.
Yeah. So like, I think that's like such an important scene too, and like a pivotal moment for this because it's like, hey, we need to make sure the show looks really good, and then like why it's so important that they snagged him for the show. So don't forget about that. They're flying a lot.
Dumb. I might be dumb. Oh my gosh. I thought it was just a nice thing about like, oh, I want to keep working at it because it's the one thing I can't get right. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, but it also is. They're flying. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bye.
So kind of just jumping into a comment from Adrian Chen, and you can also make comments on our Facebook group, again, at facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club, called the IGN Anime Club official group. Watching the casting scene, I wonder if the situation happened when they were casting Himouto and Umaru-chan. Ayumi Tanaka, who voiced Umaru, is fairly new and had not done many roles, though it is good to see studios taking a chance at giving leads to newcomers. Hearing the same actors voicing every anime would be boring, and I think you kind of hear that every now and then.
It's sort of like in games where you're like, is that Nolan North or is it Troy Baker? They all blend together.
He's like, you're so great.
It's one of them.
But there's a reason,
else?
having done voice acting, the reason being is that most people are not that good. Like, they can't deliver consistently.
Right.
So a lot of newcomers will be really good, but not necessarily guaranteed to be consistent throughout the episode. So when you see Troy Baker and you see Nolan North and credits, you're like, them again? Because they do top tier performances every time. So I understood their dilemma of like, we could take a risk, but if we don't have the finances to do this and we don't have the star power, it's a dilemma for them.
It's like one of the points that they made in the casting meeting was that, like, you know, you coach them through it. Like, it's hard, but if this is a unique talent and they really fit the role, then maybe it's better to take a chance and like help them get there.
They were talking about nurturing them.
Than to use the same newcomer. Than to use the same person again and again, which of course is good because like people were saying in the meeting is that they have that attractiveness because everybody knows them and they have like Google rankings or whatever.
Google rankings.
But it's nice that they do give newcomers a chance.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that is super important. It's like it was what Giselle was saying earlier.
It's like how do you get started?
How do you get started if nobody will give you a chance?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of jokes on like Reddit and stuff about how like entry-level jobs are like, we also need 20 years experience. Because when you're applying for jobs as a recent graduate or someone who's still in college trying to find a first job, it's really hard because it is risky to hire someone who hasn't had a job before. But also giving people a chance can be really rewarding. I think it's hard for the employer and hard for the employee too. Because the employer's kind of like, well, we have no idea if you're even going to show up on time every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we have no indication that you are doing anything. So it's weird. I liked that the director made an argument for Zuko-chan.
That was super cute.
It was like we asked her to cold read something and she nailed it, basically.
Yeah.
She nailed the character and it was really hard to do. And I love that he made that argument for her even though she didn't get it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he did say she was like a second choice. He was really good, but you know.
She's just someone to look out for, kind of.
The goodness is when that happens, though, they'll sometimes call people back and like, can you do this character?
Yeah.
Instead, or they actually will remember and they'll recommend you to another person. So I'm hoping Zuko-chan gets that.
Yeah, it feels it's bad because like everyone else is kind of doing stuff and she just keeps falling back and working at the bar and
she's getting there though.
But like the thing I like about her character the most is that she turns it around. Like she puts on not necessarily a brave face, but she genuinely is like, hey, I'm going to keep positive. I'm going to keep trying. That is this job. That is what I have to keep doing.
Yeah.
And she seems to have a really good grasp on that and isn't like a downer the entire time, which is
right. I like
nice.
that about her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course Diesel-chan gets in the studio. It's like, yes,
Diesel-chan!
Finally.
Yeah.
I love that her nickname is just, they're like, they were so embarrassed when they told her that too. It's like, we were like, sorry.
We call you, it's very rude. I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, keep calling me Diesel-chan. I'm like, yeah, Diesel-chan.
Yeah, I think that's so cool that she just like, you know, on her free time did all that work. And then here she is. It's awesome. It's like
it's kind of the other side of the coin for Zuko-chan. Like sometimes you put in the hard work and it doesn't pan out all the time, and you have to keep trying. And then sometimes you do see the reward. And Diesel-chan put in all of that, kind of like in her spare time, put in all that effort, and they recognized her merit. So you kind of see both sides. Sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes it does.
Yeah. And she was still trying to figure out what she wanted to do too. She was like, I don't know what to do. And then, but she loves researching and like learning about new things. I was like, oh wow.
Turns
that
out there's
just
a job for that.
Fit like a glove. Yeah. That was really cool.
Lucky.
Yeah. So I actually want to jump into a question we got about the show from Francisco Mercado. He said, I like the show and I believe it's very good, but something is missing from the show from making it a great show. My belief is that it is missing some realism in the show. The realism that it is missing comes from the group of girls. I'm having trouble with the belief that they always get along with each other. I am not asking for a bad girls club, but I would like to see some conflict between the girls. Real friendship is not all smiles and giggles. Some of it is built on conflict and anger when you come out on the other side with mutual appreciation for the other person. For example, if two of the girls were going for the same career path and seeing how the dynamic played out, would have brought an added dimension to the show. If it would have created some conflict within the group. What do you guys think?
So, Zuko-chan, I remember there was a point where she was trying to reach out to her friends, but they're all busy. so only one of them got to meet up with them. I think things like that might happen, where like work kind of like comes first before, supporting each other. But in terms of, aren't they all doing different professions though?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what Francisco's saying, like, it would be interesting to if two of them are going to be going for voice acting.
Yeah.
Because you get to see the competitiveness. I had a friend in high school who would always say, like, really underhanded things. Like, I used to be self-conscious about my legs, but then I saw you wearing shorts, and now I feel really
Oh,
bad.
geez.
She's actually said that to me.
Wow.
So, while I think that's realistic, I don't think that's a very high school thing, and I do think these girls are adults, so I wouldn't expect to see anything like that bad. But I do agree that this is the point in my life where I've had the most female friends I've ever had. And it is working out very well, and we're all friends. And I don't have to deal with people saying mean things about my legs, which is cool. I don't know. I don't know what would be more realistic. Sometimes I like seeing healthy female friendships.
I get what he's saying though. I mean, this show is missing, like, despite like deadlines and stuff, I feel like there's no overarching conflict between the female friends. They all just get along and complain to each other. It's really cute. And I think sometimes what's engaging is seeing conflict. People like it. And there's not anything, I don't know how you do it, but I understand exactly what he's saying.
Like if Zuka got bitter.
Yeah, if Zuka got bitter and started, holding on
And
to
started drinking.
They already drink.
Yeah, but just something like that where she does, she's like starts taking displaced anger out on them, like some sort of conflict, because I don't see a lot of it. I feel like the story is a little bit predictable that somehow they're going to make it through, which is a through line for every show, but you don't ever have a moment of doubt. So I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
So while I understand, I also disagree a little bit, because I've had a relationship like what these girls have with each other, and it's like once you get out in the workplace and once you're gone from each other, you don't have that time to be around each other, to be mad at each other. Like,
That's
you don't
true.
bicker. Like, if they were bickering, they're probably doing it while they're in school. Like, we didn't see that time when they're all actually together. And like, while they are together in this show, like quotes, they are very rarely working together and actually interacting. And so like when they do come together, it's like a special moment when they're all having fun. Like, we rarely get to see them meet up at bars and stuff. And so I think because they are so displaced from each other now, they have a more mature adult relationship where
That's
it's
true.
not
I get
exactly a conflict.
Yeah, I think like proximity breeds that kind of conflict sometimes. It's like after a while you're like, oh my God, stop chewing so loudly. But if you only see them like once a month, then you're like, I missed you so much, and I don't really care about your loud chewing that much.
Yeah, I think it would make sense for Zuka-chan to get a little bit more angry. But
Well,
I understand why she wouldn't want to take it on her friends. Like, it's not their fault.
If anything, she'll just be frustrated.
I think it's a very adult way to handle it. And I like seeing that because I don't know. I feel like I didn't get a lot of examples of that growing up, like healthy female friendships. So while I agree that I don't know if it's the most realistic, I also like it as an example of like, here's how adult women behave, even when things aren't going well for all of them.
Yeah, because I found
I'm of two minds on this.
I don't know. The reason why I kind of break off from everyone else is because I know what he's saying. I think this show is very good. I don't think it's that great. That's my personal. I know it's a lot of people's favorite show, but it's not working for me. It's like I like it, but I'm not going to be like, this is my top 5 anime. And I think part of the reason is there's something that's not quite drawing me in. It just feels like it sometimes drifts a little bit about what it wants to be.
It's great for what it is, like just to showcase the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
of the
I do
animation,
like that a lot.
which is great. But yeah, I think the whole proximity conversation, like now that they are working together, and then Miyamori being a production desk, having to poke people a lot. I wonder if anything might like.
Yeah, I mean, you still do see some of those stresses, like with Miyamori and Emma. They already had their little bit. I mean, they've had things. It's not anger. It's more of like confusion, and they don't necessarily read each other's emotions great. All the time.
Yeah, they'll have some spats, but I doubt it's gonna like break them apart.
Yeah, I mean that's not really the focus of the show either.
Yeah,
like their friendship is part of it, but it's not what the show is necessarily.
And they kind of work
them.
together already anyway when they're in school in a big project like that. So.
And I'm kind of a little happy that it's not focused on the drama between them as friends. It's more about what they're trying to achieve as
you could watch
individuals. There's plenty of dramas about that. That where the workplace or the club is the background, and then the friends and stuff are the main point in their drama. So it's nice to have that.
There's enough drama in work already anyway. Enough on each of them. But
Anyway, do we want to explain Boys Night really quickly? We're listening to a podcast called Hello from the Magic Tavern. And that's all you need to know about that. It's just a reference.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hello
Yeah.
from the Magic Tavern.
Hello from the Magic Tavern.
It's really great.
What do they
Another
talk
show you should
about?
add.
It's like an improv comedy D&D podcast.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just like when she says D&D, it's not like they're rolling dice or
they're not
anything.
playing
Oh, yeah, sure.
D&D.
Are in a fantasy world,
Yeah.
and it's really great.
And he happens to have his podcasting equipment. And I think
Behind a Burger King.
the character Chunt might be my husbando.
Ah.
You looked very surprised. His name is Chunt.
Uh-huh.
He's a talking badger,
He's a
shapeshifter.
shapeshifter. And I love him.
Anyway, so next week we will be watching episodes 15 and 16, so be sure to tune in. You can talk to us on Twitter, hashtag IGN Anime. I check that every now and then, so hashtag your tweets and I will check that.
Yeah.
And you can also send in any questions you want to IGN_Anime Club at IGN.com for email. And
I have a
of
cool little
course,
pink filter for all those emails, so I
Yeah.
get to check
Nice.
them out.
Nice.
And we always appreciate hearing your thoughts.
Yeah, and then of course, Fanime is this weekend.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Fanime. So we're going
Saturday.
this Saturday.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of us going to Fanime. So if you see us, give us a holla. Give us a yay anime. We still
Yeah.
need to pick a time and place to meet. I just
For
realized.
sure. We'll make an event on Facebook.
We will.
And then, yeah, we'll tweet about it too. So.
Yay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look
So-
out for us there.
Are there anything you guys want to promote before we jump out?
Yeah, don't forget, share us your favorite matchups on One Piece if you want to win or get a chance to win one of these little Marineford editions. Yeah, we're hoping to do more Let's Plays, so we'll get that going on Anime Club. And yeah.
All right. Two things. One, remember, Xavier Woods is going to be on this week. We're going to have a blast. We're going to talk about all the Husbandos, all the Moe. It's going to be fantastic. Also, I am reviewing the remaster of Odin Sphere, so that review will be going up next week. Spoiler alert, it's fantastic. It's so good. So gorgeous. I want to marry that game and have its babies.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's amazing.
Game babies.
You'll have to see what the review score is and what I actually specifically
Odin
have
Sphere
to
is
say
her
about it later.
husbando.
That's my waifu.
Ah.
I've been working on some E3 stuff lately, so check out the E3 wiki on IGN, yeah, and see what games are
Oh,
going to be
E3.
at E3. That's my life right now. Also, I wrote up a thing, Road to E3 from Mass Effect Andromeda, so just kind of like what we hope to see at E3 from Mass Effect.
Nice.
Yeah.
We are working on something we want to call Fan Art Friday. So I'll be working on a fan art roundup this week. It'll be cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we did one for Pokemon. I did a roundup of fan art for the Pokemon starters when that was announced because the art happened like in a day. So this one, I'm just gonna plug it here. So if anybody likes Overwatch and is making Overwatch art, send it my way. And basically, I make a gallery with a little credit, like Twitter user at whatever, or whatever you want your credit to be as an artist. I can't use everything, but I would like if we have some fan artists in the group, and Diva is basically anime, so yeah, send those things my way. Spread the word.
Speaking of Twitter, what's your Twitter handle?
Thank you, Dojiko, INKYDOJIKKO.
You find me at Havoc Gross with Havoc with a K.
Megan, MEGHAN_IGN.
And you can follow me at XP M&Ms.
Cool.
Cool.
And thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.